Hey ho, Flight Sim Guy here. Hello YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching my videos chronologically, you probably just got done watching the review of the Epic Victory. I just got done quote-unquote shooting that review, and I'm still in the air on my way to New York, direct flight, not screwing with ATC. Don't have active Sky Next. I'm just using the default weather engine, getting good frames as a result. And I have 49 minutes to talk to you about flight simulation. Now, obviously, what I'm going to say won't take 49 minutes, but the point I'm trying to get at is, let's get serious about flight simulation. Microsoft Flight Simulator as a tool, been around for a long time, and for the most part, it's a game. That's just, a lot of people say, oh, it's not a game, it's a training aid and whatever. Well, for the most part, it's a game, right? Let's get real. And for those of us that don't use this as a game, such as pilots and training, you can use FSX to do VFR training, but where it really shines is in IFR training, practicing approaches, practicing in bad weather, learning VORs, NDBs, vortex, and all that kind of thing. That's where flight simulation, or the current flight simulation tools on the market, really shines. Having said that, that can only take you so far. Where you really get the power out of applications such as FS 2004 and FSX is if you have an instructor station. FS 2004 had a very rudimentary instructor station that came with that application. You would install the Flight Sim on one computer, and on another computer you would install the instructor station, which did not require the flight simulator. And when you did that, you could be the instructor station for some other guy on FS 2004 flying the Cessna, and you could do things like change the weather on them, fail instruments and whatnot. To the best of my knowledge, not a lot of people used it, or it was not a big hit. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when Microsoft came out with FSX, it did not include instructor stations, so they must not have thought of it worthy to include in the next release of the software. And I want to say that left open a hole for a gentleman by the name of Gordo, and he has an application called Instructor Station, and I bought Instructor Station 2 days ago, and I got it set up, and right now I have Instructor Station running on my notebook computer, and it is quote-unquote, there it is, loading Instructor Station. It is quote-unquote driving this computer. And let me tell you, normally Instructor Station sells for $48, and you have to pay an annual fee to renew the license once a year for non-commercial. For commercial pricing, you're gonna have to contact him. I guess he charges you whatever you want. But I got Instructor Station on sale from the Valentine's Day sale at FS Pilot Shop for half price, which was $24. And Instructor Station requires WideFS. WideFS is an application you install on a remote computer, and what it does is it fools that computer into thinking FSX is installed on there. WideFS works with another application called WideFS Server, which is a part of FSU IPC, which you probably have installed on your computer. Most people, if you need to use the WideFS part, you got to buy the license, reinstall, rerun the FSU IPC executable, and then at the registration screen, click on the WideFS Server and punch in the key. Once you have that set up and you're running the WideFS client, you're running the WideFS client on the remote computer. License could not be verified. Give me a break. Then you can control your FSX from another computer, and you can do what I said earlier with regards to the instructor station features of 2004. In this case, I paid a total of $12 for WideFS, $24, less than $40 for Instructor Station. Given what it does, that is a freaking steal. most cases where you have someone throwing you curveballs and throw you simulation scenarios, in the real world, those tools cost tens of thousands of dollars. I paid less than $50 for this. And the capabilities, I would gladly show you if this damn thing would work properly. I bought a key, I installed it, let me try, and he sent me the key. I entered it, but it worked last night, now it's not working. Validating key, please wait. Anyway, while it's doing that, evidently I can still, no I can't use the application until the key comes up. The key could not be verified. Please make sure you have internet connection. I'm gonna have to have a word with Luis. So now my internet connection is good. Let's hit cancel. Alright, let's go ahead and paste the key again. Product key. There's a key right there. Paste the key. Okay. There we go. Alright, now working. Now it's working. Alright, so while this is recording, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up my screen recorder on my computer to show you what this looks like. Alright, so I'm over here on my notebook, and this is Luis Gordo's Instructor station. And like I said, I paid less than $50 for everything, and given what this thing can do, that is a freaking steal. My plane, the Epic Victory by Lionheart Creations, is on autopilot, 25,000 feet, heading 091 on its way to New York. I have 43 minutes left, so let's go ahead and get working. It uses WideFS client and server, and it's connected to my other computer on the same subnet. This is my current position. It even shows what my frame rate is. Aircraft type, it's selected here all types, but it has custom radio buttons for the Airbus series and the Boeing series. This is just the general position. I can sync times if I want to. Here is the network parameters. You can use this feature if you have I think it's called, if you have a home-built cockpit, Project Magenta, where you have several computers each running different components. You can remotely stop and start those computers using this interface. This is the current position. I can set the position if I want. Right now I'm at 25,000 feet. I can just come in here and punch in whatever longitude and latitude I want and get the put the aircraft in that position. Here I can get the current position. This is where the plane is. Environment. That's the recording. I'm going to turn on the weather engine. If I wanted to, I can give this a crosswind, and I think I will, from the left, and hit set, and then that's going to screw with my computer. There it goes. And now the computer's autopilot is adjusting, is doing a crab angle to adjust for the crosswind. I can make it rainy, but it's never rainy at 25,000 feet, I don't think. I can make it thunderstormy, which I probably wouldn't want with such a small carbon fiber aircraft. I can make it foggy. Again, I'm a little bit too high for all of that stuff, but I can show that later. And I can clear everything so the crosswind is gone and my plane is flying straight and normal now. I can download the real weather. It's already using the real weather, so you know this is of no consequence. And look at this screen. I can give it advanced wind parameters, direction, wind speed, wind direction, gust, turbulence, wind shear, wind variance. I can set winds at various altitudes, precipitation at various levels. This is pretty cool. Fuel load. Right now, I'm looking at my computer. My fuel load is fuel quantity left 20 or 30 pounds, fuel quantity right 20 or 30 pounds. Let's go ahead and fill that up a little bit. So using my Instructor station, I'm going to make it 75%. Watch what happens to my fuel. Fuel quantity up to 510 pounds. Now, obviously, that's going to make the plane a little bit heavier. But anyhow, so I'm able to top off the tanks with this interface. This has a built-in flight recorder. And you can record all sorts of variables that you want to plot on a graph. You can, I mean, look at this. Just a whole bunch of variables. And here is the mother load of features. You can fail engines. You can fail landing gear. I can put a leak in the fuel tanks. I can screw up the ailerons. And that's just the general stuff. I can fail airspeed indicator, turn indicator, attitude indicator, vertical speed, all the radios, vacuum tube, all those systems. I can fail various display systems, and it has tabs specific for the Airbus and the Boeing lines of planes where you can fail various fuel pumps and whatnot. This is Airbus, this is Boeing, and I guess you can do custom failures here. Sim control. In this case, I can change the view. I can zoom. Yep, the zoom works. I can cycle the views. What else here? I can slew. I don't want to slew. General. I can essentially do whatever I want with the plane. Essentially, it's a remote control interface for FSX. I can screw with the electrical systems. I can screw with the autopilot. You know, this is very, very. I can lower my altitude here. That's pretty cool. I can't mess with the throttle or the speed though. I did not notice this yesterday when I was screwing with this. Navcom. Air traffic control communications. Open ATC window. Wow. I didn't even see any of this stuff. I can customize. I can pretend to be ATC here. And I can send instructions to the plane. I can send voice to the plane. All this for $24. Traffic. I can generate traffic. Oop, got to turn it on first. And let's see. These are the other traffic that's around me. I'm looking at my screen over here. Not seeing anything. I can freeze the simulator. I can pause and restart. The point is, this is a true instructor station for Flight Simulator. And you can use this for Flight Simulator X, Flight Simulator 2009, and Flight Simulator 2002, all the way back, I think, to Flight Simulator 98. The reason why it does that is because it uses the wide FS client and server technology, which has evolved over the years along with those simulators. So this is really, really pretty cool. And the system requirements, this is just a Windows executable. You can run this on a Pentium 200, you know, with, I don't know, 64 megabytes of RAM. It does not take a lot of computing cycles or computing powers to run this. Now, what you're probably asking me is, yeah, but what if the instructor is a buddy of mine in Pennsylvania and I live in Florida? Can he be my instructor station when I'm flying in Florida and he's in Pennsylvania? Obviously, that was the first thing I researched once I got the software. 29 minutes left. And I did not find anyone who said they were able to get it to work. I've seen the question asked several times. But based on my research, this should work, and I'll tell you how. It's not multi-session multiplayer gaming for FSX, so you don't need to open the ports in your router related to FSX gaming. Instructor Station uses WideFS client and server. WideFS client and server talks on whatever port you tell it to. By default, it talks on port 8002. So, what would happen is the person playing FSX, they would have to install the WideFS server key, assuming they're using FSU IPC. They'd have to install that on their computer, and they would have to open port 8002 TCP and UDP on their router. If for some reason they want to use another port, you can use another port, but you'd have to change the configuration in the WideFS server INI file. Likewise, the instructor on another location, they would have to fire up WideFS client and make sure that the port in the WideFS client INI file is the same as the port that's opened on the FSX user's router and what's in his WideFS server INI file. And last but not least, you need to have the FSX player do a what's my IP command, or do a what's my IP using that website to find his IP address and give it to the person who's going to be the instructor. And the person who's going to be the instructor would enter that IP address followed by a colon and the port number. And once you do that, in theory, you can remote control someone else's FSX session over the internet. I've never tried it before. It should work. I don't see why it shouldn't. If anyone who has the WideFS server key and have their know how to forward ports on the router, if you're interested and you want to try this, let me know and we can give it a shot. Because I'm telling you, this turns FSX from a game into a serious simulation training tool where you can throw people curveballs and whatnot. Oh, also with the position, this feature right here, when I was in the Air Force, when I first reported to the 2nd Comm Squadron at Barksdale, we all took turns riding the simulator, and what the controller, the instructor station for the B-52 simulator did was he put us out here on the sim, and all we had to do was fly the plane in. And everyone was crowded around the instructor station while the candidate, my fellow officer who was in the simulator, tried landing the plane. And what you'd see was the plane would go all the way up and down here because, they've never flown before and, they were just screwing around. And this was a good way, just for, giving people a ride in the sim and see how they performed. But here, you can set the aircraft on whatever position. You can also go into the environment. You can set for VFR, modular VFR, IFR. Since I'm at 25,000 feet, usually I'm above all bad weather. But once I get down to a lower altitude, I can show you where you can change the weather to ILS categories 1 through ILS categories 3C. You can make it foggy, you can make it thunderstorm, you can make the runways wet, dry, and whatnot. So for $25, this is pretty, cool, and you can get some really, really good, serious training in. All right, so what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and land this bad boy. Where am I going to anyway? LaGuardia. I'm going to go ahead and land this thing at LaGuardia, and once I've landed, I'll get back on here and show you what some of the things you can do with the weather. Okay. Alright, so I didn't get a chance to show off what Instructor Station can do. So, not while I was in the air. So, I got the Epic Victory on the ground in New York. And what I want to do is, this is going to take some creative editing. The screen is recording. I'm just sitting in the cockpit on the ground in New York in the Epic Victory, and on this computer I have Instructor Station running. Now on the FSX computer I had to disable all weather. The only way you can actually change the weather environment in here, whereas right here, is you got to make sure you disable the weather. So first let me show you what we can do with the weather. Let me see here. simulation control, I can change the view. So let's go ahead and cycle to an outside view. There we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer. Right there should do it. Okay. And everything that you're seeing, apart from changing the angle, looking at the plane, I did that on the FSX computer. Switching the view I did on the remotely using Instructor Station. So let's see what some of the cool things you can do. Alright, environment. Weather engine is switched on. Let's go ahead and set the weather to thunderstorm. Set. I had this working yesterday. There we go. Alright. And let's go ahead and change that weather. I can just go ahead and clear it. Hit clear. And it's gone. And fog. Okay. And that's for the rain and the fog. Just the fog. Clear. And let's see here what it looks like with snow. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and clear that. And turn off our weather engine. Now let's go to simulation control. General. Let's try where is it? Simulation control, electric, master on, avionics on, and in theory I should be able to turn on these lights, and there they are. Got the lights going. Okay, let's turn off the lights. Let's turn on the landing lights, see what that looks like. Come over here, you can actually see the landing lights on. Turn those off. You can turn on the taxi lights. Turn that off. I can also change the simulation rate. Turn down the simulation rate back to 1. There's obviously a plane next to me getting ready to do something. Let's see here. That must be that plane right there. Okay, what else can we do? Well, first we can turn this down. Alright, general. Flaps. Let's go ahead and set the flaps. I got the master on. So over here I could set the flaps down. Look a little bit closer. There we go. Flaps down. There they go. Flaps up. Let's see here. Let's go back to some control. Where's my view? I can zoom out. I can zoom in. I can cycle my views. Oh wow, look at that. A lot of action going on at LaGuardia. That plane is taking off awfully fast. Sim rate is high. Turn it down to 1. There we go. Cycle back to where I was. Let's see here now. Failures. Once I turn this on, I can start leaking fuel. I can fail the ailerons. I can do all sorts of good stuff here. I can fail stuff on the panels. Pitot, COM. I can reset all this stuff. And if I have the A320 or the Boeing 737 series, I can fail also the detailed items. There's a flat recorder here. As I said before, you can choose what variable you want to record. Start, stop. You can save it to various files, and you can time plot, distance, approach, fuel load. Let me go ahead and show this off. Let me go ahead and toggle in here. And alright, here it says fuel is 406. I'm going to make it 100%. 680. And I think when you do that, the plane should kneel a little bit. Okay, full tanks, empty tanks. Full tanks, empty tanks. And let's go ahead and sim control, electric. Let's turn off the master and the avionics. And environment, I already showed you how to do the weather. Here I can go ahead and get the aircraft current position. I can put it wherever I want. Longitude, latitude, gear up, gear down. Can do it at a runway, the gate. There's just so many things you can do with this program, and it was only $24 for a year. I think the annual renewal fee is I don't recall, $10 or $20, whatever it is a freaking steal. Alright, that's all I have to show. Oh, and then there's a whole bunch of other things here. It says here, help Google Earth. I get the feeling on the environment section, with regards to position, I'm sorry. I get the feeling you can, once you're in flight, you can show this on a moving map. That would be sim control, not sim control, yeah, view, nope, not slew. It wouldn't be traffic, it would be recorder. Start export to Google Earth. I'm not exactly sure what this does, but I'm getting the feeling somewhere in this application you can actually show the aircraft in flight on a moving map. Create KML Google Earth. I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing in some way, shape, or form this thing interfaces with Google Earth, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, so enough of that. I'll go ahead and let you go now. I just wanted to show off Luis Gordo's outstanding Instructor station. Getting it to work on your home network on a single subnet, piece of cake. I didn't even have to try, it just worked. Getting it to work across the internet, I'm willing to give it a shot if anyone else is. Just go ahead and let me know. Leave a message on my channel or something. Flight Sim Guy here. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.